have to say I appreciate all the get well wishes I got over the last few days. I'm probably right now about 95% back to normal. But yeah, man, starting with late Friday, early Saturday of last week, all the way up until about at least Wednesday, I was in pretty bad shape. Yeah, like Saturday and Sunday, I pretty much had no voice. I don't know if you all have ever got sick to the point where you had what's known as laryngitis. Laryngitis is simply when you essentially like lose like at least 90% of your voice. Yeah, that's how I was Saturday, Sunday, and most of Monday of last week and early this week. Yeah, I didn't have any voice. I think I got like 50% of my voice back on Tuesday. And then obviously I did a video on Wednesday. I had probably like, 2/3 to 3/4 of my voice back. But yeah, the biggest thing, man, is, see, when you live in the Midwest, man, you got to deal with all these weather changes, man. That's when I'm most susceptible to cold and flu, is when there's a lot of weather change. Like, it's going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold, cold to hot, cold to hot. Like earlier this morning, man, it was like 55 degrees, man. Today is officially the first day of summer, man. It should be like 75 degrees right now. I think right now, about 62, 63 degrees. Anyway. Now, on a quick note, a lot of people was tripping on my last video. Well, for two reasons. One, when I start talking about, trying to alleviate men's insecurities about their dick size. I actually got a lot of emails, guys telling me they appreciated that. They say, hey, man, Alan, a lot of people don't want to talk about things to do with dick size, man, but I appreciated you taking the time to talk about something as sensitive and awkward as dick size and help alleviating some of our guys, because that's a big thing with guys. Because if guys being real, man, all guys want to know, is their dick long enough and or thick enough to be satisfying to a woman? A lot of guys want to know that. Is their dick long enough and or thick enough to be satisfying to a woman? And what I always tell guys is this. Do you know one of the most popular sex toys for a woman is called a bullet? A bullet? You know a bullet? I'm trying to look at a device near me that might be. A bullet is about the length of this battery. And it's not much thicker than this battery. And that's one of the most best-selling toys for a woman, if not the best-selling toy. More than dildos, which are longer and thicker. Man, more women buy bullets than dildos. So what does that tell you about the whole size thing? A lot of what turns women on about the size of a man's dick is just really visual. Like, there's some dicks that women like to look at. It's just like us men with tits. We like to look at big tits, but I mean, are you saying that a woman with small tits can't satisfy you in bed? Come on, man. You'd be lying if you was to say that. If any man said a woman with less than average size tits can't satisfy him in bed, he's lying. You can be satisfied by a woman, but visually, if nothing else, visually, us men, we like to look at big tits. So a lot of women, yeah, they like to. But like I said, the biggest point I tried to make is that size does matter to a lot of women, but it matters in both directions. It matters in both directions. And in other words, women don't like either extreme. A lot of women don't like a dick that's too small, but at the same time, they don't like a dick that's too big either. So if you're on either extreme, you're going to have some challenges. But, so anyway, a lot of guys appreciated me taking the time to talk about that. Oh, but the second thing I was going to say is when I did my, my little trick with Alexa, man, my own brother freaked out over that. My brother was like, damn, how did you do that? Yeah. What? You say you want an encore? Okay, let me give you a brief encore. Alexa, for just a few seconds, take me back into cartoon mode.
Okay, as you wish.
I feel like I've been uploaded into the clouds. All right, Alexa. Take me back to real life. Back to reality.
If that is what you really want, King Allen. Back to life. Back to reality.
Thank you once again, Alexa.
You are very welcome, Mr. Currie. Mode 1.
Now, when you're on Patreon, as a lot of content creators are, you have a lot of people who become Patreon supporters of yours, subscribers of yours, every month. But then, unfortunately, each month, you lose at least a handful of people. I know I have. I can't speak for everybody, but I have. I would say, I don't know, like, my biggest gains have been in just the last roughly 3 months. What? We in March? What? Yeah, about the last 3 months. I've mentioned this a couple times before. Like, in early to mid-March, I only had about 170 Patreon subscribers. And I've more than doubled that over roughly the last 3 months, or a little over 3 months. But yeah, every month, I probably lose. For every guys I gain, I probably lose at minimum at least 5 people. You know. Some for financial reasons, it's just no longer in their budget to support me. Or some guys, they feel like they've gained as much knowledge, wisdom, and insight from me, and they've already at a level where they feel like they've improved themselves. And it could be a variety of other reasons. But in the last 24 to 48 hours, I lost a Patreon subscriber that I was pretty fond of. And I was not only disappointed, I was even a little bit hurt that I lost him. And the reason I lost him as a Patreon subscriber is because, I will say, figuratively speaking, he gave into the dark side. He gave into the dark side of the manosphere. What is the dark side of the manosphere? Well, as you guys know, I've done at least probably 2, 3, maybe as many as 4 videos over the last year and a half that's dealt with the subject of clarifying the various pills in the manosphere. Each pill represents a certain mindset you have about dealing with women. A certain mindset you have about dealing with women. There's at least 4 pills that are frequently discussed in the manosphere. Once again, would be blue pill, red pill, purple pill, and black pill. Blue pill red pill, purple pill, and black pill. I would say probably at least no less than 95% of y'all should be very familiar with the general gist and description of each one. But I always like to say I like to speak to those who might be ignorant. Okay, to give you the gist again of each of the pills or mindsets. Blue pill represents when you're a combination of naive to some degree when it comes to your evaluation of women and their behavior and the overall concept of dating and relationships. You're a combination of naive, idealistic, and traditional or old-fashioned. Naive, idealistic, and traditional or old-fashioned in terms of your perspective on women and your perspective on overall mindset on dating and relationships. That's when you qualify for being blue pill. Quick example, blue pill is a guy who looks at all women as these just beautiful, innocent, sweet, wholesome, can do no wrong creatures that are worthy of their love and dedication, and and they believe in that old notion of you find your soulmate, you propose marriage to her, you marry her, you have 2.5 kids, and you get a house with a white picket fence, and you live happily ever after with no problems and no unexpected episodes of adversity. Blue pill. You want your love life to be like that old show, Leave It to Beaver, and some of the old classic TV shows from the 1950s, 1960s. Where you had the husband that was the strong leader and breadwinner, the wife that was ultra feminine, always wear dresses and skirts, and they raised healthy children, and the husband wasn't cheating on the wife wasn't cheating on the husband, and everybody was just A-okay. Blue pill. Red pill is either when you've had some experiences yourself, or B, because experiences of other men that have been shared with you. And without getting too lengthy, you realize that women aren't these little innocent, wholesome, can do no wrong creatures. You realize that women can be just as scandalous, just as manipulative as men are, just as adulterous and just as unfaithful as men are, just as promiscuous and or polyamorous as men are. And you, quote unquote, wake up. You wake up. And you say, okay, I recognize the real in women now. I recognize the real in dating and relationships now. And I'm going to make some adjustments, and I'm going to move forward accordingly. Purple pill. Purple pill, and this usually only applies to people like dating coaches, relationship advisors, pickup artists, marriage therapists. Basically somebody who makes money off of giving dating advice and or relationship advice. Somebody whose career allows them to make money off of offering dating advice and or relationship advice. That's mainly the main people that purple pill applies to. Purple pill is when deep down you know the red pill realities of men and women. You know the red pill realities of dating and relationships. But in order to keep your clients and followers and supporters enthused and optimistic, you primarily promote a lot of blue pill talking points. You promote a lot of blue pill talking points and attitudes and beliefs. So you're promoting basically blue pill social programming, even though you yourself deep down has red pill attitudes and beliefs and in knowledge, wisdom, and insight. That's purple pill. And then finally, black pill. See, when you make the transition from blue pill to red pill, 90 to 99% chance you're going to go through a phase known as red pill rage. Red pill rage. And that's kind of that period where you say, holy shit. Okay, let's say you're, 25 years old. Somewhere between 25 and 29 years old. And let's say up until the age of 24, you were blue pill. Then all of a sudden you read somebody's book, might be one of my own books, like Possibility of Sex, Beta Male Revolution. You can read Rollo Tomasi's book or somebody else's book, or you listen to somebody's audio podcast or watch somebody's video podcast, read somebody's blog article. And so you say, man, I never knew women were like this. I never knew they were this scandalous. I never knew they were this manipulative. I never knew they were this materialistic. I never knew they were this adulterous and unfaithful. And you just say, damn. If only for a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a month, 2 months, 3 months, you become somewhat bitter about this shit. You have a certain degree of anger, frustration, and bitterness towards the entire female gender. Your behavior is almost bordering on a misogynistic state. So yeah, red pill rage is when you have that bitterness. Now, it's inevitable that most men who transition from blue pill to red pill, again, are going to experience some degree of red pill rage. It could be as minimum for a few hours. At maximum, it could be for a month, 2 months, 3 months. I'd say, I don't know, maybe as long as 3 to 6 months. But typically, by then, ideally, you should just come to the realization that women have their nature. Women have their nature, just like all species do. All male and female species of any given animal, insect, whatever, have their nature. I don't want to go through this again, but rattlesnakes have a nature. Lions have a nature, male and female. Wasp, ants, spiders. Like, give you interesting nature about spiders. Most of you should know about the black widow spider. If you as a human being think some women who are radical feminists are a trip, shoot. Think about the arachnoid family, which includes spiders. One of the reasons why the black widow spider has that name, the black widow spiders, man. If you got my book, The Possibility of Sex, I want to say it's chapter 8. Yeah, I believe it's chapter 8. I talk about women who are closet misandrists. Closet misandrists. What is a misandrist? A misandrist is a woman, or it could be a man too. Could be a man too, but typically a woman who has a passionate hatred for men. Just like a misogynist is a man, but it could be a woman too. Could be a woman too. A woman, most people don't realize that. A woman can be a misogynist. If a woman has passionate hatred towards her own gender, she could be a misogynist. If a man has a passionate hatred towards women, he's a misogynist. If a woman has passionate hatred towards men, she's a misandrist. If a man has passionate hatred towards his own gender, he could be a misandrist. So misogynists are not exclusively limited to men, and misandrists are not exclusively limited to women. The vast majority of people in those two categories are members of the opposite gender, but you can actually be in one of those two categories within your own gender. So again, a woman could be a misogynist and a man could be a misandrist. But one of the chapters in my book, The Possibility of Sex, chapter 8, I talk about women who are closet misandrists. And what I get too lengthy, what I essentially say is there's some women that when you first meet them, they'll act very feminine. They'll act like they got a lot of love and respect for men. But that's because they want to get pregnant. And as soon as they get pregnant by you, and they have at least one child, if not multiple children, that's when either one or two things will happen. They're going to seek to divorce you. They're no longer going, if they're married, they're going to no longer need you anymore. Or if they're unmarried, they're going to find a way to break up with you. Or if they stay with you, they're going to seek to disrespect you and abuse you and emasculate you. That's what a misandrist does if she's in a relationship with a man. She's going to seek to undermine your manhood and your masculinity. Well, in the arachnoid family, the black widow spider, she only uses her male members of her species to get her pregnant. Once she gets pregnant by a male spider in her species, she at minimum dismisses them. She says, okay, I'm pregnant. You can go now. You can go now. Take care. Go about your way. And if that spider says, but no, I love you though. I love you. I want to stay with you. She kills the motherfucker. All right, really, I shouldn't be laughing. That really ain't funny. But that's what she does. Yeah, black widow, once she gets pregnant by the male species of the black widow family, at minimum, after she gets pregnant, she's like, okay, later, take care. You've done your job. I don't need you no more. I don't need you. I don't want you. Don't need you. And if the spider insists on sticking around, she kills the motherfucker. Yeah. So, yeah, that's true, ain't it? So, I was talking about black pill, man. Some guys go into a zone, that red pill rage zone, where they can't get out of it. If you go into the red pill space mentally and emotionally, and you can't recover from it, that's when you officially become black pill. You're black pill. There's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of guys on YouTube who promote themselves as red pill, but really they're black pill. There's a lot of guys on YouTube, black guys, white guys, probably even a few Asian and Hispanic guys, who will promote themselves as being red pill, but really they're black pill. Almost all their content is black pill. You can always, again, you can simply tell the difference between red pill and black pill. If your commentary about women and about dating and relationships has undertones of anger, bitterness, resentment, and most extreme hatred, you're black pill. That's not red pill. That's black pill. That is not red pill. That's black pill. Anytime just about all your commentary towards women and towards the general nature of dating and relationships is extremely negative. Negative, pessimistic, and hateful. That means you are black pill. Some guys do it as a performance in order to attract viewers and subscribers and more attention to their YouTube channel, so it's not really genuine hatred. It's almost more of a performance. Then there's other guys who are mentally and emotionally unstable. They're mentally and emotionally unstable. And because of that, they can't recover out of the red pill zone. I mean, the red pill rage zone, I should say. Red pill rage phase. They can't recover out of it. Because when you're truly red pill, you don't have any anger. You don't have any bitterness. You don't have any resentment. You don't have any hatred towards women, and you don't develop hatred towards the nature of dating and relationships. Instead of being negative, pessimistic, and hateful, you're just more enlightened and realistic. That would be the two words I would describe for somebody who's truly red pill. A red pill person is someone who's enlightened and realistic. They're neither idealistic like blue pill, nor are they pessimistic like black pill. They're just realistic. They operate in a very realistic manner. Everything about their attitudes and beliefs about women and dating relationships. Because reality is this, man. Just going to break it down like Alan Roger Currie can break it down. Are women these innocent, wholesome, can do no wrong creatures? Fuck no. But are men? You got to be objective. You know, it's like some guys who are black pill, whether it's a performance or a genuine, they try to act like women are the most despicable creatures on earth. Like men aren't fucked up. And see, this is where I get a lot of blowback and criticism. Because guys will say, well, and you're protecting these women from criticism. You're defending these women against insults. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just objective. I recognize the flaws and weaknesses of women, no doubt. If I didn't, I wouldn't have wrote my book, The Possibility of Sex. My book, The Possibility of Sex, is my most documented proof that I recognize the flaws and weaknesses of women's character and integrity, and the fact that they have a very manipulative nature, materialistic nature. But the fact of the matter is, they ain't no worse than us. Women lie. Do men lie? Of course we do. So how are they any different? Women lie, we lie. Where's the difference? Well, and these women are promiscuous, like men aren't. Men are promiscuous. So what's your point? Well, but you got to understand, these women will fuck a bunch of alpha males, and then when they reach the age of 30 or 35 or 40, they want to settle down with a good man. They want to settle down with a good man with good character, good integrity, and monogamy-oriented sensibilities. Like men don't. Like men don't. Where do you think the phrase "sow your wild oats" comes from? Sow your wild oats comes from. That's men do the same thing. They fuck a bunch of women between the age of, say, 18 and 29, and then starting with 30, 35, 40, or even a little older, they want to find a good girl. They want to find a prudish or semi-prudish, strictly monogamy-oriented good girl to marry. So what's the fucking difference? Well, man, these women, man, they be cheating on us and they be committing adultery. Don't let me give you a dog face on that. Like men don't. Like men don't cheat. Like men don't commit adultery. Come on, man. Well, Alan, you gotta admit though, man, women are hypergamous, man. They only want like the most desirable men in society, and they ignore the guys who are of average level desirability or less than average level desirability. But yet, all I hear is men talking about, man, I'm going to only date a woman who's a 7, 8, 9, or 10. That's all I'm going to date, man, is a woman who's a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Some guys even take it more extreme. They like, I'm only dating a woman who's a 9 or 10. And you wonder why I say you guys are funny. And you wonder why I say some of you guys are funny as fuck. Quit looking at them and look at you. Quit pointing the finger at them and point the finger at yourself. Alan, why does society let women get away with so much? Why does society don't tell us from the time we're young the true nature, the true sexual nature of women, and the true manipulative and materialistic nature of women? Why are we sold all these lies from the time we're in elementary or middle school? That's the problem I have, Alan. Why does our parents, friends of our parents, and other factions of society, why do they lie to us? Why do you think? You know, my most watched video is a video called Most Men Cannot Handle the True Nature of Women. Video has over 70,000 views. You can't see it now because I made it a Patreon exclusive. But before I did, that video had over 70,000 views. Almost 1,000 comments and reply comments. Most of any video I've ever done. And I didn't go into detail, but there was a brief period that some people might have not paid attention to. They glossed over. But I said, the powers that be of the world, some people call them the Illuminati and other similar terms. The powers that be, they know the true nature of women. And even people who weren't necessarily part of the powers that be knew the true nature of women. Why do you think you had pimps? You had a lot of black men who were pimps, man. They didn't have a formal education. And they knew the true nature of women, and they found a way to take advantage of it and profit from it. That's why they became pimps. Of course the powers that be know the true nature of women, but they know most of you motherfuckers can't handle it. If you was a powerful motherfucker that was in part responsible for keeping society running with minimum chaos and minimum violence, would you share with all these motherfuckers the true nature of women from the time they was in elementary and middle school? No, you wouldn't. Don't lie to yourself. No, you wouldn't. Because you know it would cause society to implode and self-destruct if you was trying to keep a society going. You know it would. Wake up. Y'all not only need to wake up to do with stuff to do with dating relationships, y'all need to wake up stuff to do with the world in general. Like I was listening to a podcast not too long ago, and this brother was talking about gang banging and gang violence and basically acting like gang bangers was the hardest motherfuckers on earth, and that, you know, people needed to recognize them and give them their respect. And see, that let me know that this motherfucker was blue pill when it comes to life. Because let Alan Currie just wake you the fuck up. Talking about the powers that be. The powers that be could wipe out Compton tomorrow. They could wipe out South Central tomorrow. They could wipe out all the gangbangers on the world tomorrow. Damn, we have a virus that we cannot contain in Compton, and we won't be able to evacuate everybody in time. Boom. Gone. Gone. People be like, damn, they just blew Compton the fuck up. All they need is a believable reason, a plausible reason. A virus has gotten loose in South Central. We can't contain it in time. It's going to take lives. We have to do something before it spreads everywhere else. Boom! South Central gone. Wake the fuck up. Gangbangers are a blip on the radar for the motherfucker. Somebody had a meme on Twitter one time that I loved. Speaking of gangsters. He had it in tiers, 3 tiers. He had low-level gangsters, low-tier gangsters. And he showed a bunch of gangbangers, you know, hard-looking gangbangers. Then he had medium-level gangsters, which looked like more so mafia types. You know, high-level businessmen who are part of what's known as organized crime. Mobsters, mafia types. Then he had high-level gangsters. And he had people like President Clinton. I think he even had Obama in there. He had political leaders, world leaders. You know, President Clinton, man, they said a bunch of people died under his watch. People just kind of mysteriously died. Well, almost more, I want to say more than arguably any president. People just died. You'd read one week, somebody was challenging Clinton on some issue. Then 2 months later it says, you know, Mr. Jakowski mysteriously died. He mysteriously had a stroke. You think if I became a person of interest to the United States government that they're just going to come in my house and shoot me? No, that ain't how real life works. You're just going to read in a blurb in the paper. Dating coach Alan Roger Currie was eating lunch and he just mysteriously, just unexpectedly had a heart attack. Because the motherfuckers went to my favorite restaurant, put some poison in my food, and then I died. If they want to undermine my credibility, they'd have some white guy while I'm in a restaurant say, hey, is this seat open? Are you Alan Roger Currie? I want to talk to you about your book. And he's sitting there, I'm talking to him for 2 hours. But then it turns out he's a former member of the Ku Klux Klan and he's a convicted pedophile and rapist. And then they send that to the media. Dating coach Alan Roger Currie just had a 2-hour conversation with a member of the Ku Klux Klan and a convicted rapist and pedophile. And I'll be like, damn, I didn't know that dude had all that. You think people reading the article and listening to it on TV care? It's how the real world works for you blue pill motherfuckers. That's how the real world works. The powers that be know most of you motherfuckers can't handle. I can tell just on YouTube that most of you motherfuckers can't handle the knowledge, wisdom, and insight associated with women's true sexual nature and women's true manipulative and materialistic nature. You don't think the powers that be in society didn't know that decades ago? Promoting blue pill attitudes and beliefs and sensibilities keeps society relatively sane, helps diminish the chaos, helps diminish the male violence. Be thankful you're a human being, man. I've always mentioned that, you know, one of the ways I first became familiar with the whole alpha male, beta male dynamic was from watching a special on the Discovery Channel, I think in the early 90s. And they was talking about different animal kingdoms. And they kept using, when they talk about the male species of certain animal kingdoms, they kept saying the alphas and the betas. See, in certain animal kingdoms, and it varies from kingdom to kingdom, beta males don't get no pussy. I mean like zero, zilch, none. At least with human beings, you got at minimum, you got street prostitutes, you got professional call girls, you got upscale erotic escorts. They ain't got that in the animal kingdom. Man, some animal kingdoms, if you consider beta, you don't get shit. Alpha males get all the pussy. I talked about one time on Blog Talk Radio. It's so treacherous in the in certain animal kingdoms that if a beta male was caught fucking by an alpha male, he gets his ass whooped. The alpha male interrupts his fucking, whoops his ass, and says, get the fuck out of here. I'm taking over this bitch. Imagine if you was fucking your girlfriend in your house. That cough lets me know I'm not fully recovered. And some big, strong alpha man just burst in your house and said, man, get up off that pussy. That's my pussy now. Get out of here. I'm taking over this house too. Taking over your car, I'm taking over your house. Get the fuck out of here before I whoop your ass. This pussy, and true enough, that's how shit, I talk about this also on Blog Talk Radio. In the days of the conquerors, that is how shit went down. Motherfuckers came to your land, took your resources, and they said, hey, I'm going to take your resources. While I'm here, damn, you got a good-looking bitch. Give her to me. I'm taking her too. Taking her too. And some guys would say, well, I'm gonna kill myself and I'm gonna kill my wife rather than watch you fuck my wife. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Do what you gotta do. When I was in Colombia during my 10-day cruise, man, the guys were talking about that. There was this wall with all these cannons. And when I get a lengthy story, you know, of course, people asking, you know, what provoked them to have these cannons? And the dude who led the tour, he was a real young guy. He was real. He kept it real. Related to what I was just talking about. He said, man, guys from Spain was just coming to Colombia, just fucking all our finest, sexiest bitches, man. Well, he didn't say bitches, he said women, but he said they was just fucking all that. He said, that's why you have such a mix down here. Different, you know, mixes, biracial, multiracial mixes. He said, these guys from Spain, man, that's what conquerors did, man. If they went to a land to conquer and they saw that that land had fine bitches, they was going to fuck your bitch, man. Be thankful that life don't work that way no more. That's one of the things that motivated guys to start creating weapons like guns. You know, because some guys knew they couldn't match guys with hand-to-hand combat, so they said, shit, I got to create a weapon. So this guy just don't come and punk me and fuck my bitch. Wake up. Wake up. So all that to say, man, I'm disappointed that this guy who left me my Patreon supporter group, he started listening to some black pill motherfuckers, and he wrote me this long email. I ain't going to repeat all of it, but essentially he was like, Alan, I just don't see the point anymore, man. Women are treacherous, man. They're just the scum of the earth, man. They just, you know, they don't respect us anymore. They don't love men. They're hypergamous. They're unfaithful. They're promiscuous. What's the point? What's the point of learning game if women are just the scum of the earth? What's the point, man? I mean, I loved a lot of your videos, Alan. I really did. But I'm going to go now because I just realized there's no hope for me. You know, I'm not the most good-looking guy in the world. I'm not a wealthy guy. I just have no chance, man. I've been listening to so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and they said there's only the good-looking guys or the wealthy guys that get laid. All the rest of us are just fucked. C'est la vie. So that's Alan Roger Currie's challenge, man. I want to help guys make the transition from a blue pill mindset to a red pill mindset. But at the same time, I want to prevent men from making the transition from red pill to black pill. Because once you buy into the black pill, man, for all practical purposes, man, spiritually, your life is over. Your life is over. You're just going to be an angry, bitter, resentful whiner and complainer from now until the day you buried 6 feet under. That's all you're going to be. With the exception of those guys who are putting on a performance to track YouTube viewers and subscribers. And they want to be controversial to do that. But for the guys who are genuinely black pill, that are mentally and emotionally unstable, their life is going to be fucked. There's going to be no joy in their life. Their life is going to be fucked. Do you want that to be you? You want your life to be fucked like that? Do you? You want to start having suicidal thoughts and tendencies? You want to start having homicidal thoughts and tendencies? Is that going to be you? You want to be the next Elliot Rodger? Is that what you want? You want to be the next George Soldini? Alec Manassian? Is that what you want to be? Because that's the route you're going. If you sell out to the black pill, that's the route you're going to go. Or you're just going to become an antisocial hermit who never leaves the house. But you're just addicted to videos where guys talk about how fucked up women are. Is that what you want? Is that the life you want in front of you? Is it? Ask yourself that question. Is it? Is that the life you want? Particularly if you're a young guy, in your 20s, in your 30s. That's what you want? Is that the life you want ahead of you? I'm willing to do my best to help you, man. I'm willing to do my best to help you. But it's called self-help for a reason. It's not called dating coach help. It's called self-help. I'm just facilitating things for you. But ultimately, you got to make all the final decisions. You got to choose to immerse in personal development and self-improvement. You got to choose to weed out all your invalid beliefs, ineffective attitudes, egotistical insecurities, self-destructive fears. You got to do that. I can't do it for you. You got to do that. I can only do so much. So in my Patreon portion, won't be long, but I'm just going to talk about what you need to do to stay out of the mode 4 zone, which is pretty much the same thing as the red pill rage zone. A few differences, but they first cousins to each other. And that's what I'm going to discuss in my Patreon exclusive portion.